Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and I give you Ultima Online. This is Graz, and here I am bringing you a review on a classic game. A game that's actually been out since 1997. September 24th, 1997 to be exact. This is a very classic game. I'm sure some of you may have had experience with it, as this is the first original MMO Online. Now, this was even before EverQuest. This right here is actually a free account I'm using, a 14-day trial setup. So I'm not going to be able to get access to everything I would like, but I get just enough to give you an overview of what's going on. Now, Ultima Online has two different clients. This is what they call their enhanced client. Now, this is a little bit more technical and a bit of a mix from what their original client is. The classic client is what they used to call a 2D client, which, quite frankly, is kind of bugged in my opinion. But anyway, this new enhanced client is actually a bit of a mashup between several other clients they had before, ranging from a 3D through the Kingdom Reborn client. It's been a work in progress for quite some time now. So I don't know, I don't think it's that bad, but to be honest, in today's time, this is still light years beyond everyone else. Now, sadly, their player numbers are down from a lot from what it used to be. I believe at one point they had peaked over 250,000 subscribers. I don't have the current numbers right now, but I can assure you that it's well below where it used to be. As you can see in this video, the people are very scarce to be found. This is actually on a prime time night, so you would have figured at least you'd see more people. This is my first time picking up the game in probably over 5 or 6 years, so for me this is kind of depressing to say the least. But anyway, going back to the game. The great thing about Ultima Online before was that there were no levels. No leveling system whatsoever. You had a skill gain system. Everything you had to gain, basically. Now, the skills are in increments of 0.1%. So in order to cap out a skill, you would have to hit 100%, which means, yes, you will be working a long time. Now, you had everything from crafting skills right down to combat skills. So you had total control of whatever you wanted. If you like swords, you got the swordsmanship skill. If you had daggers, you used the fencing skill. It was very customizable like that, but unfortunately, I feel they just couldn't do enough with it. This game had lots of potential. It's just that I feel like with the high turnover rate with the developers and the downtime between, I just find it very depressing the game has only come so far. Now, the combat system is easy. If you would like to engage in combat, you simply hold the tab button, you attack with double clicking, and to release out of combat, you'd simply release the tab. Now, if it was a player, you wouldn't be so lucky. But there is an option where you can actually use the tab as a toggle switch. By simply pressing the tab, you can enter war mode, which is what you would use for fighting. To get out of it, you can press the tab again. I found the toggle option more easier to handle than the simply holding. If you released, then it became quite of a pain in the ass. But anyway, this was the original game to actually offer player housing, static player housing. So once you simply built it, you had your house. Now in the original game, back in the very early years, you got a house key. Now, if you got killed in PvP or a thief was around, you could simply have your key taken and you would also lose your house. And any worldly possessions locked down in the house. So, as you can see, griefing quickly became a problem with all that back then. Since then, they've fixed it. Well, basically they took the key out of the game. They've added a different facet, which is called Trammel, which prevents you from doing any PvP now. The original facet, which is now called Felucca, which is practically dead. Now, I wanted to get a shot of Felucca in this video, but unfortunately, trial accounts aren't allowed to go into Felucca. They want you to pay for a full account. So at this point, I'm not going to resume my game playing with Ultima, so there's no point in really going that far. Now, on all your skills, there is a cap on each one. Each skill has a cap of 100. Those caps can be increased by 5% increments through something called power scrolls. They were gained through spawns. Now, originally, these were often hard to obtain because you would get griefed in these spawns by PvPers. Now, I don't know if that's so much sure, considering the population is down and the fact that with the new gaming mechanics they have added, I really haven't got a chance to test it out. But there was an overall skill cap of 720 to prevent all players from maxing all your skills out and becoming overpowered. And that was one of the other things with Ultima Online throughout the years, was trying to balance everything. At some point, fixing certain skills like archery and animal taming oftentimes actually resulted in them becoming overpowered. You'd see a lot of the player base complain, and then next thing you know, that skill would get nerfed into oblivion. So it's kind of been an up and down battle throughout history. Now, their last official expansion was Stygian Abyss, which was released in September 8th, 2009. The expansion before that was called Mundane's Legacy, which was released in August 30th of 2005. That's a 4-year difference. A lot of players back then, including myself, waited a long time with high hopes that Stygian Abyss would actually improve the game. Well, I know a lot of players like me who also gave up during that time. It was just a high turnover rate from the developers. A lot of people were moving on. It was a time of uncertainty. A lot of players didn't even know if it was going to carry on. It was a lot of talk, no action, and it kind of reminded you of Duke Nukem. You know, where the hell was it? You kept hearing all these great things, and a new race was going to be added, but it never happened. But in September 8, 2009, it finally happened. They brought with it the new gargoyle race, a new dungeon, and tons of different things too. As for the previous expansion, which was Mundane's Legacy, that was the expansion that had brought the first additional race into the game, which was the Elves. And each race has their ups and downs. In this game, you see a couple gargoyles, at least something that looks like it resembles gargoyles. It's kind of hard to tell, at least for me, since this is my first time seeing it. But like I said, I don't think I'll be resuming my action in Ultima. I'm just here for the review, and it's quite a shame. Like I stated, the classic client, in my personal opinion, kind of brought the game down. There's a story back when the game originally started that a bug in the original client had allowed people to gain access to the source code, which allowed a bunch of other programs to come into play. Programs such as speed hacking, scripting, and other forms of cheating. And unfortunately, that's something that the folks over at Ultima have been dealing with for some time. It's a bit of a back and forth battle. Now, this server that I'm demonstrating is actually called the Atlantic server. At one point, this used to be one of the most popular servers on Ultima, but unfortunately at prime time, there's not too many people going on. Some of the other servers are quite low, actually, and I've heard rumors that they may condense some of these servers down. Now, whether that's true or not, it's a rumor, so you take it for what it is. But as much as this game brings back some good memories, it brings back some bad memories as well. I wish I had more good to say about it, But to be honest, my total review for Ultima Online at this time would be a 1.5 out of 5. Now, I would like to go back and state that about the expansions, the Pack High Seas is not officially an expansion. That's just an add-on. They're not really considering expansions at this time, so it was kind of disappointing to hear that they went that route. They might make more expansions, who knows. It was nice to see that they added more content through High Seas, but quite frankly, this is a game for people with low-end computers. And at some point, in my opinion, I believe that's going to bottom out totally. I wish Ultima Online well. It brings back a lot of good memories, like I said. But I wish things could have been better. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Graz. I thank you for watching my review of Ultima Online. If you like our videos, please feel free to subscribe, check out our website, leave a comment if you'd so, and I will see you around next time.